Okay, welcome. So this is going to be a fun addition to all the coaching that you're already receiving, whether it's through text or maybe we've talked on the phone a little bit, which by the way is always going to be an option. But I want to give you a check-in point midweek. So every Wednesday at 12 Central Standard Time, I'm going to hop on a Zoom. I'm opening it up to everyone. And we're going to talk a lot about mindset around weight loss. There may be information around fitness and nutritional information like that, but you're going to receive a lot of that through text and email. So if you aren't receiving texts or emails, please reach out. I want to make sure that you're on the list. But when we talk about a hormone journey, there is so much more to it than just food and diet and exercise and working out. There's this whole mindset that comes with it. Because if you're like me, I've struggled for so many years that I feel like some of that has become part of my identity. And it's time to break that, reroute that, rethink it, rewire it, however you want to phrase it. But I just feel like it's super important that we come to a place of massive belief that this journey will work, massive belief that your body's going to correct itself, massive belief in yourself. So that takes time. This time is going to serve as a moment to help rewire, also an opportunity for you to share your wins and successes that are happening throughout the week, but also to come to the table honestly and share any struggles that you may have. At the end, we'll always do Q&A, but that part will not be recorded because sometimes there's moments in our conversations that are very personal, very vulnerable, and that doesn't need to be recorded for other people to scrutinize or view that actually didn't make it to this call. And again, you are always going to have access to me through text and phone number and email or whatever. So please do not leave anything pressing throughout the week. Just reach out to me. We can have that conversation. Okay. So I took a few notes and I really want to talk about two things today that I think can make a big impact on your wellness journey. So when we look at our hormone journey, there is balancing hormones, there's tweaking diet, there may be working out differently, there may be grocery shopping differently, there may be things going on with your family that they're noticing you're acting different or something. And we feel like we want to work on it all. So we want to sleep, we want to hydrate, we want to take our supplements, and we want to grocery shop healthy, and we want to like, there's a lot. So in the next few moments, I want you to really think about the one thing that could make the biggest difference in your life. The one thing. When we chase multiple things, I like to look at it like rabbits. When we chase two rabbits at the exact same time, we will never catch either one. Now, I'm not going to lie. At this age, I may not catch either one anyway. But just per se, if we are chasing two things at the exact same time, we'll never catch either thing. So that's why I want you to really hone in and consider the one thing. Think of it like this: be a postage stamp. Stick to one thing until you get there. That's a quote by Josh Billings, and I absolutely love it. So, what is that one thing for you? What is the one thing that would make the biggest difference? So when you begin the program, you may have had grand ideas about exercising, changing your mindset, eating healthier, becoming fitter, maybe just being a better mom, a wife, a better woman overall. Maybe you came here to find your mission. Like, would you agree? If you're my age, our identity has probably changed a little bit. Maybe you're an empty nester. Maybe you're taking care of your parents. Maybe your kids are returning back home. Whatever it is, our identity has always been locked and linked to something else. And this is probably the first time in a long time where you've had an opportunity to look inward. And what is it that you really want? Um, the problem sometimes with starting a new protocol, a new way of eating, a new way of exercising is we haven't really done any of those things all at one time together in a really long time, or maybe never. So we can often get overwhelmed easily. So maybe you made a goal: I'm going to go work out at the gym 5 days a week. But if you haven't been working out at the gym 2 days a week, 5 days is going to feel overwhelming. And what happens if you happen to miss one of those days? Do you all of a sudden feel like a failure? So when we talk about the one thing, instead of focusing on everything, oh, I got to sleep and I got to take my supplements and I got to eat healthy and I get all this protein and all this water and all the things, what's the one thing right now that could make the biggest impact on your health? Now we're going to put our new supplements over here for now because we're going to consume those along with the one thing. So what's the one thing? Is it trying to get 8 hours of sleep? Is it consuming the appropriate amount of water? Is it upping your protein? Is it doing strength training 2 or 3 days a week? Is it shopping healthy? So instead of going to the grocery store and shopping like our normal self, are you going to start cleaning up your pantry and cleaning up some of your food? What's the one thing? So when we do too much, we tend to get overwhelmed. Multitasking can be a lie. Everyone likes to think that we're multitasking, but science actually shows when they studied the brain, when a woman multitasks, her brain is not doing multiple things at one time. It's just turning on and off of those things. So it's never doing two things at once. It's always like shifting gears. So if you're talking on the phone and typing, you're either talking on the phone and listening, or you're typing, but you're not doing both. And we've all been guilty of that. We tune into something and we're like, I'm just going to like type this out or watch this reel while I'm talking to someone on the phone. And then all of a sudden you're like, oops, what did she say? So what's the one thing? And I want you to write that down. The one thing. And here's a quote. It's by Carrie Keller, and it's called The One Thing. Make sure every day you do what matters most. When you know what matters most, everything makes sense. And when you don't know what matters most, anything makes sense. So grab a piece of paper and what's the one thing that you can do and start today that will make everything else seem easier or unnecessary? What's the one thing? And you can write this down. And I'll share mine too after I give you just a moment to think. What's the one thing? So if you need to pause, go ahead and pause. I'm going to continue. For me, when I started my journey, I wrote down, buy the correct groceries. That was the one thing. Now, after whatever you wrote down, that one thing, what will it improve in other areas of your life? So you have the one thing. What will improve in other areas of your life? So pause this if you need to pause and write down a list. Try to come up with 5 to 8 things. And then come back to me and I'll share my list. So I mentioned buy the correct groceries. Where will it improve other areas in my life? So I'll stay on diet better because I won't have the junk food in the house. It will lower cravings, lose temptation. I might enjoy cooking better because I don't know if I enjoy it now. I might enjoy planning meals. I know I'll save money. Eating healthy, but only eating healthy actually is cheaper than eating all the junk and trying to eat healthy. So I knew I would save money. I figured it would help with mental clarity. Now, remember, I started my journey in 2022. So I hadn't experienced that yet, but it did help with, it did help with mental clarity. I figured if I bought the right groceries and I wasn't craving and all the things, I might actually be more productive at work because I wouldn't be dealing with like that late afternoon drag and the brain fog that sets in. And the other goal was I would have more time to read. If I wasn't craving and I wasn't snacking and I wasn't doing all the things that constantly revolved around food, I might enjoy some hobbies. So that's what I had wrote. So how did it go for you? Reach out and tell me through text, ask for a phone call, and we can visit. Because once we have that one thing, now we're focused. So we're going to do one more activity. And this one's kind of a crazy one. And I did not make an example, but I'll write it on the back of this paper. So you need paper for this one. What you're going to do is you're going to divide your paper up into 3 columns. If I had a marker, that would be really great. And I don't, but let's see if you can see this. So on your paper, at the very top, draw a line. Oh, let's see. There it is, draw a line. Okay, then make 3 columns under that line. Hope you can see that. Oh, let's see. There it goes. So I have my top line and then I have 3 columns. Above each column, I want you to write someone you admire, someone you look up to, someone that has it going on, someone that you want to model. Okay, write their 3 names at the top. They can be dead, alive, a friend, a family member, someone you've only heard of. It can be anybody. So write those 3 names. Pause this video if you need time to write. After you've written the 3 names, under their names, write common characteristics that you feel describe them. Your goal is to write 3 to 7 characteristics that you admire about each of the people that you wrote down. You cannot say the wrong thing. So just whatever first comes to mind. Why do you admire that person? Why did you choose that person? And remember, if you're still thinking who, remember, these people can be very close to you. Maybe it's someone you live with. These people can be only people you've heard of, or people you've read about, or seen on television, whatever. But write 3 to 7 characteristics of why you admire each person. Maybe they're consistent. Maybe they're generous. Maybe they eat healthy. Maybe they have energy. Maybe they're happy. Maybe they're responsible. Maybe they're spontaneous. Whatever it is, write those characteristics down. Again, pause the video if you need time to write it. As you look at that list, I want you to realize, remember, I'm going to do a spoiler, so if you're not done with your list, please pause. The reason I asked you to write down characteristics, the secret to all of this is if you spot that in someone else, you've got it. So if you spot genuine, humble, energetic, happy, whatever, if you spot those characteristics in other people, you too have that characteristic. Now, for some reason, you may not feel like you do, but that's just from years of maybe not living our best life, maybe not feeling like ourselves, maybe not being truly happy. But if you spot it in someone, you've got it. So as you look at the list, I now want you to take all of those characteristics that you wrote, and I want you to either rewrite the whole characteristic or drop the words I am in front of it. So I'm going to go through my list so I can give you an example. So I listed my husband. Okay. When I described him, that wasn't hard to do. Here were his characteristics. He's loving, consistent, confident. He takes the high road. He's attentive, calm, and I wrote sexy. There you have it. So those are the things I see in my husband. Now I'm going to take that list and I'm going to confidently write I am. And even if I didn't 100% agree with those, for me, we're going to read them every single day. And when you read them every single day, you will begin to adopt those I am statements. They become your affirmations. So mine will look like I am loving. I can totally agree with that. I am consistent. I'm not 100% sure what I meant by that when I mentioned Greg, so I'll have to figure that one out for me. Maybe it was work related. Maybe it was mood, like his mood. His mood is very consistent, even keel. I said he was confident. So now my affirmation is I am confident. Even if I didn't 100% believe that back in 2022, I have said it over and over and over. I do believe I am confident. I wrote high road. My husband is very moral. He takes the high road in 99% of his situations of conflict. So I wrote, I too take the high road. I am attentive. I am calm. I am sexy. Never in a million years did I picture myself as being a woman that is sexy. I have a lot going for me, but sexy, I just never, it's not a characteristic I would describe of myself. But if I see it in Greg, it obviously is in me too. And that's your truth. So I wrote, I am sexy. And I said it. And when I said it at first, just laughed at myself because I never saw myself that way. Now I can say it. I am sexy. I feel sexy when the time is right, or when I put a little effort. I don't always feel sexy at 6 o'clock in the morning, but when I put effort into it and I'm dressing up and we're going out or whatever, I do feel sexy. I also described a business partner. She's confident, she's high energy. I wrote beautiful. She builds up people, she's present, and she has wisdom. So again, I am statements in front of all of those characteristics. I am confident. I am high energy. I see that now. 3 years ago, I was still kind of grasping at straws. So your I am statements become your identity statements. They're affirmations that I'm encouraging you to read every single day until you thoroughly believe them. So that's all I have for today. A very short mindset training around your journey. And it may seem unimportant right now because we did I am statements, and some of them have nothing to do with weight loss or getting rid of hot flashes or intimacy with our spouse. None of that matters. When we become who we believe we truly are to the core, we level up in so many ways, and it affects so many other areas of our life. So I'm going to stop the recording. For the ladies that are on right now, you're going to get a moment to ask questions, participate as a group. Heck, you're even going to get to know each other, because if we met on TikTok, some of you have TikTok handles, you've actually dropped them in the comment, and you were on the same live as another woman that was on that live, and you're recognizing each other. And that's what this community is about. It's really great. So I will always send the recording out. I hope next week you can make it. It's Wednesday at noon Central Standard Time. We'll see you then. Bye.